Okay, Dad and I are out on an adventure. An adventure turned into a crazy day.
Crazy is right.
Crazy's right. So Friday, we're taking a cruise from Port Canaveral, which is near Orlando. And so this afternoon, after your dentist appointment, I decided, and I decided this before it snowed, but I decided we would drive after his dentist appointment down to the Savannah, Georgia area, and then continue tomorrow down to the Port Canaveral area, and then we'll get on the cruise ship Friday. Well, of course, there was a bad snowstorm across the southeast. So as we were driving, things got progressively worse because while we had a dusting of snow at home, we were driving into where they got the worst of the snow, places that never get snow like Georgia and Florida. And we'd come down I-77 to 26, and there was an accident or something. And so navigation was telling us to get off, and there were signs on the road that we were going to have to get off. So we had to get off there, and we followed our navigation, which pretty much for 3 hours led us across every back road in the state of South Carolina and Georgia, all of which were snow covered with probably what was before it kind of compressed down 6 to 8 inches in some places, and just 2 tire paths down the middle. And cars spun out everywhere and just slick spots.
A lot of cars off the road.
A lot of cars off the road. And we would hit the bridges, and the bridges were like solid snow and ice. And they were
foot deep.
Like a foot deep, where the bottom of my car was scraping the snow pile in the middle. And there was even one bridge that was kind of an incline, and someone 3 or 4 cars in front of us, when we came upon it, he had like spun out or something and hit the side.
Yeah.
And people had stopped and they were helping him get back down, and the front of his car was messed up.
Then we had to go up that long hill.
It was like a long hill upwards on a bridge full of snow. And we kind of waited our turn and took a run, and the car in front of me started to slow down, and I didn't want them to stop because I was fearful of what would have happened if we'd have stopped.
We might have had it back down the hill.
Yeah, we wouldn't have, I don't think we would have started again. So we finally get to near where our hotel was, which is near Savannah in a place called Pooler, Georgia. And I knew where our hotel was, and I knew that like one exit up, there was an outlet mall with lots of dining and stuff. So I said, while we're out, let's just stop and eat. And then we hadn't eaten anything since breakfast.
Right.
Then we'll come back to the hotel. Well, we went to the area, and I'm driving by, and I'm spotting all the restaurants: Olive Garden, Chili's, Longhorn. And I don't want to eat at a place that we could eat at home, so I'm headed to a place called Sam Snead's. And we were behind some little golf cart looking vehicle that was spreading salt. And
the snow was 6 inches deep in the middle of the road.
Yeah, the snow was bad in the middle of the road, and it was all slick. We got to where we were going, but right before we got there, I realized, Arby's is closed, Taco Bell is closed. Well, the restaurant was closed. There was a Waffle House, and there were like 50 people waited outside the Waffle House. So I said, well, let's go back. There's Olive Garden, there's Chili's, there's all these things. Let's try. Something's got to be open. And not a one. McDonald's, pizza places, everything was closed.
Longhorn.
We came across the Logan's Roadhouse, and that was open. And I parked and went inside, and there were about 30 to 50 people just waiting to either pick up food or talk to someone about being seated. And I saw like 2 servers, and no one ever came to actually seat us. So I gave up on that, and we continued to drive. And I said, maybe we'll find like a mom and pop place somewhere like our Taste of Buffalo friends that aren't going to close when it snows. And we came across some Venezuela place. I didn't know what it was. I didn't recognize the name, but it was open, and it looked like a restaurant, like a fast food restaurant, and there were people there. So I did like an illegal U-turn, and then I went in the exit of the place because I didn't want to go down another road to go across the median, and there were no other cars. So we went inside there, and I could not identify anything on the menu. Like I really couldn't. I can be a little adventurous. Like if I could have understood that this is chicken inside of a tortilla. But we went inside, and the woman did not speak any English.
Yeah.
And she had a laminated menu, and again, I was reading through trying to tell him what the options were, and I really couldn't say or understand anything, even though they had English versions of it. Like I could understand this one's chicken, but like they had pictures, and it looked like things I'd never seen before. But there was an option, number 33 on the menu was Americano hamburger.
Right.
And so I said we could get a hamburger. So we did those hamburgers and dose number 33.
They were very good.
They were very good, big. And then we figured out I made her understand fries and said 2 fries. Well, the burgers came with fries. So we ended up having like burger and fries with like 2 more huge side orders of fries. And so that was at least dinner, and it was good, and we ate something. And so now it's dark, and the roads were very slick. We're one exit up from our hotel off I-95, but I-95 was dead stop when we crossed it. And while we're in the restaurant, the emergency alert system came out warning of a problem to avoid I-95 north and south. So I think what they were doing is they were closing the interstate. And so we did through back roads, icy back roads, with more cars that were crashed out along the way.
Yeah.
Police and stuff. We made it back to the hotel, and we parked and checked in. And come to find out, the hotel had a restaurant that's open, and so we could have just come to the hotel, and we could have probably had food that we knew what it was and everything. But that's our adventure so far. So tomorrow we're going to drive to Port Canaveral. Hopefully we can stay on the interstate because like we didn't see a restaurant, we didn't see nothing. There was one gas station we stopped at partway to use the bathroom.
We went through all these towns, and the only thing that they have is a
Dollar General.
Dollar General.
So, day 1 of our adventure. Will it be better when we get on the cruise ship?
Stay tuned
for day 2. And Flat Stanley's in the suitcase, so Flat Stanley's going to be making an appearance in some fun destinations again.
Yeah.